7.5. Pretty amazing.
I had like 9 people yell that at me at the draft because Homer's an idiot.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
The delivery of that information was magnificent, John.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season, and now is the time to tackle those big projects you've been putting off. Right now, during the home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months, and you'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today.
In Minnesota, you can get the hottest concert ticket in town.
Thanks everybody for being here.
While eating some of the best food in the nation.
I think I've said yum like 85 times.
Plan your trip at exploreminnesota.com. Whether fishing, floating, or boating, in Minnesota, lakes aren't just a destination.
Nice walleye.
They're a way of life.
The water is so clean and so clear, it's quite magical.
See what makes Minnesota the star of the North at exploreminnesota.com.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. But we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
In true Chewy fashion, right before we turn on our microphones, because when it comes to working out, how long can I wear these shorts before I have to wash them?
What, do you smell something?
Do I smell something? What am I, hard of smelling? Of course I smell something.
What is it?
Wear it once, wear it twice, wear it 3 times. And when... What prompted the question to myself?
You start to smell them a little bit?
Not smell, they're a little dirty.
What do you mean by dirty?
It's B.O. The valet must have had B.O.
Can't be. Nobody has B.O. like this.
Jerry, it's B.O.
But the whole car smells.
Like some sweat stains or other types of stains?
I don't know what that is.
Because the other type of stains, should probably, throw them in there.
Well, that's only with the whites. The whites are definitely 2. And you have to look at the backside to be like, all right, yeah.
So when somebody has B.O., the O usually stays with the B. Once the B leaves, the O goes with it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count our chairs.
Well, look what the cat drag did.
It's cold.
It's gonna take you to get used to turning that microphone on again.
Usually don't have to. Don't have to do that. You're a thirsty boy this morning.
Why?
Look how much you get. That thing's like half gone.
That's terrible.
You hadn't taken a single drink when I saw you wander in at 6:30. That thing's like almost gone.
Maybe I'll have to bring in 2.
Seems excessive.
2 jugs. Never mind.
Hydrate.
Never mind. Good morning, everybody. Chewy is back. He is here. He is in the flesh, in studio with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. How are your travels?
Fine. People that... the older you get, the people annoy you more.
You tell me.
Everything was
You tell me.
fine until you get the baggage claim. So we got to transfer all kind of our stuff back. 6 bags, big bags.
That's a lot.
I had 1. And you get the baggage claim, and the whole, I would say 60% of the belt is open. You know? Yeah, I'm talking plenty of room there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to crawl up my butt to get to your bag when there's all this open space? Do people not respect personal space?
No. Never
You
have,
know?
never will.
And it's like you're not even there. They're like, they come between me and Angie and they're throwing elbows. I'm like, there's plenty of room over there and there's plenty of room over there.
So this happens to me, but I am, lollipop guild size. You're a big human. I'm surprised that people want to stand that close to you.
I agree.
I just
You know what
assume
I
when this
think it
happens to
is?
me that they can't see me. That they're like, oh my God, I didn't even see you there.
You know what I think it is? I think they fumble their bags on purpose and can't get them off the belt just so I'll grab it for them.
Oh, wait, is that another thing that was happening?
Yeah. Probably 4 of them.
You're the bumble.
I don't want to be the bumble at baggage claim.
But you're a
I'll
big
put
guy.
a flipping star on your Christmas tree. I will reach in the grocery store up to the highest thing. But when I land on a plane and stuff, I just want my space. Now, I get it if you go to Vegas and it's like the whole belt's back. But there's 60% of the belt was open.
I don't know. I think you're missing out on a really good marketing campaign here. You fumble, I bumble.
Ooh.
Could be a thing.
Is that a moving?
No, I
movie?
literally, you said they fumble their bags and he called you
Yeah.
the bumble. And, my brain, it's basically Dr. Seuss up there just trying to weave some rhymes.
Yeah, so I got a lot of work to do. Lot.
I do think that this personal space thing is interesting. We were at the ice cream store yesterday, and you guys know how the ice cream shop works. They've got the cabinets. What are they called? They're glass display areas.
Yeah.
And they got the tubs of ice cream down in there, workers behind the counter. But it's long. If you have any decent sized ice cream place, you're going to have, I don't know, 20 flavors at least.
31 flavors maybe.
Famously. And this, so it's a long area. My kids are looking, do I want this? Do I want the bubble gum? Do I want the blue moon? I don't know. Can I try this? Da-da-da. And Dar's got the front of the line and I got the back of the line. And I look and I can feel behind me like a presence, like what's happening here? So I look at my husband and he makes eye contact with me and I do you can't say anything because I think the person is real close. And I just go, back, close. And he goes, nod, like that nonverbal communication. I go, okay. And what do? Do you say, excuse me, could you step back? Because I feel like that starts something you don't want to start.
So for the ice cream place, was it a situation where a lot of times that there's not a place to sit, right? It's just the ice cream. You go in, you get the ice cream, and you come in one door and you go out the next. Was it tightly packed by the door to get in?
Yeah, only one door.
Yeah.
And you have to line up near the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then you make your way down the cabinet, and then you turn around. There are tables at this place that we were at, but you turn around and you make your way towards one of the tables. So, I mean, again, no harm, no foul, but you're talking about the invasion of personal space, and I'm thinking, oh, yesterday at the ice cream shop, this lady was, what was your phrase? Climbing up your butt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
what it feels like, yes.
What do you think, Gabe? Is there just a general personal space
Oh yeah,
issue?
this is why because I usually check a bag when I travel because the only time I'm ever traveling is typically for golf. So it's not like you can carry on your golf club. So I'm usually standing there. I just hang back. I just don't care. You hang back because the way that people rush up to that belt and just want to hover over it, I'll hang back. And if as long as I'm not the first one in line standing by where it pops out, I'll see it and I'll have plenty of time to walk up, cut in between two people, grab my clubs and be on my way. But I want nothing to do with being near that belt because of the way people behave.
So you just let the crowd disperse and then grab your bag?
Yeah. Or if it comes out first, then I can, I say, excuse me, cut between two people because they're all shoulder to shoulder
I'm the
standing
same
around
way.
the belt. I'm just going to hang back. I'm going to watch you guys do your thing, and I'm going to grab my bag and then be on my way.
When 60% of the belt is open, Go over there. And it's normally, people of advanced age. It's just this entitlement of like, nope, it's closest to the door. This is where I'm going to stand.
You think that's what it is? You think this is just old people?
In fairness, you are coming from the land of old people.
Well, it's old people and really, really stupid people.
You'd think you were conditioned.
That's where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Florida man is a character we're all familiar with. This is the new place you have decided to call home. The land of old people and the land of stupid people. I know you can't stand either one of them, but if you want the warm weather, this is what you're going to have to deal with. That's the trade-off.
Maybe I'll start shipping my bags. The thing is, they're not even my bags.
Yeah,
they're not even my bags.
I wanted to get to that. So you brought 6 suitcases back with you from Florida. You said one of them was yours. That means,
if we're being honest, a half of that one was probably
our daughter was with us. And in her defense, she flew from Ohio State to Florida.
So she had to unpack her dorm room, bring all that stuff with her.
Well, most of it was supposed to be sent home, but now we have to track it down.
Oh, no.
Because it's in some warehouse now.
Oh, no.
So,
been there.
Yeah, 6 bags is a lot.
Well, having your daughter with you makes a lot more sense, because what I was going to say is Angie doesn't strike me as I got a lot of clothes, I need them all back in Wisconsin kind of gal. She's more of a guy's gal. She probably has
she has to pack up her office, though.
Okay, what does that entail?
Paperwork. She refuses to go paperless.
Huh.
So
she's like the lady from Tommy Boy.
So wait, you just had a suitcase. How do you keep that?
So one suitcase
from not getting all jostled up and mixed up.
That's what she does. But one of the smaller suitcases, the ones you can put above.
Yeah.
Carry-ons.
38 pounds of paper.
Wow.
38 pounds of paper. What does this weigh? Pound and a half?
He's lifting the keyboard or the computer for those who are not watching.
This seems a lot more logical
YouTube stream.
and a lot less shoulder pain for me.
You close that thing down and it's very thin, very transportable.
Yeah.
But refuses to go paperless.
She won't. Yeah.
Is it a security thing?
I don't know what it is. Notes.
A control thing.
I think it's just old school. She refuses to change.
I feel like some of that's got to get mixed up in the transport. She's got to spend part of her day today now reorganizing all of that paperwork
with the zips and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know, but still, it gets jostled around.
A little bit.
I've seen the airport workers throw around bags.
Yeah,
they don't give a rip. Although if it's 38 pounds, tougher to give it the old heave ho.
Yeah.
What is the maximum weight you can have for a carry-on?
50. But this isn't a little. This is
for a carry-on. It can be up to 50 pounds. I thought for a full-size suitcase, it could be up to 50 pounds.
I don't think if you're rolling it onto the plane, they're not weighing it.
That's true.
That's a great point.
It's true.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I forgot completely.
Make it
about
100 pounds. If you can lift it up over your head and getting it into that compartment above the seats, doesn't matter what's in there.
Wow, that's wild.
So it's back. It's fine. It's good.
You got to go through PT now for your shoulder after carrying that many bags. But not a big deal.
And did you at least put together a nice little Mother's Day then for Angie?
She loved the cutting board.
No, she didn't.
And my logic was this. Here's my logic, and it's very good logic, right? A card is probably $6, right?
Sure, yeah.
To get a card, and what are you doing with it?
Reading it.
You're throwing it away.
Yeah, correct.
Right? The cutting board has the same thing the card has on it for $16, and you get to use it for the rest of your life. I thought that was pretty smart.
Did you?
That's how I sold it.
For those who missed it, wasn't there some poem or something on the cutting board? Where's my phone? Wasn't there some cheesy poem?
Yeah, it's very cheesy.
Didn't it call her your love bug?
I believe it did. The thing is, I don't read the whole thing. I just read the first 3 lines.
Correct.
It's very obvious.
This kind of works.
Hold on, I just want to read what it says.
She loved it.
Recipe for a special wife. 1 pinch of love, 1 ton of patience. How are you measuring the ton, by the way, these days?
Just got to scale out back.
A pinch of hope, 2 cups of kindness, 3 spoonfuls of fun, plenty of faith, a handful of laughter, a dash of understanding.
You know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is, and she wanted to cook on Mother's Day. I don't know why, but she's done. She said she's done cooking.
Forever?
Yes.
When was the last time she cooked before Mother's Day?
Probably the previous Mother's Day. So she made crock-pot lasagna.
You're a big fan of crock-pot lasagna.
Not anymore. Not
Why?
anymore.
What'd she forget?
It wasn't good. Had to choke it down. She's done. She doesn't get timing when it comes to cooking.
Okay.
You know? When you're putting noodles into a crock pot, can't put it on high. Can't put it on high. So then she does the garlic bread and uses the stupid thing that people used in the 50s, the broiling pan.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Nobody uses that for garlic bread anymore. And the type of bread you can just put on the rack. So Gianna wanted a little bit of cheese on it.
Oh, no.
But I didn't realize once I put the cheese on it, it becomes my project. So the house is filled with smoke. And I'm like, the garlic bread is in the... What are you doing? I'm like, me? This isn't my dinner. I don't have a timing problem. So it was...
Just a comedy of... So wait, the smoke detectors are going off in the house?
The doors had to be all open and stuff like that. She can't cook because she can't time. You know what I mean?
When I asked you if you put together a nice little Mother's Day for her.
It sounds like it was a nice little Mother's Day. It sounds like they had a good time.
It sounds like it was a Mother's Day, okay?
Yes.
Sounds like a good time was had by some.
Nothing a little wine can't cure.
Yeah.
Oh, I got tears.
It had an interesting taste to it.
Did she forget to add something?
I don't know if she took the noodles out of the box. That's what it tasted like.
A little crunchy?
Wait, hold on. You can't complain about her cooking on Mother's Day. She was cooking on Mother's Day.
She wanted to.
That's tricky.
And it took her because it's putsy. It had like a metallic taste to it.
Maybe it's time for a new crock pot.
Well, she did blame it on the crock pot. She did. There's only a high and a low.
Yeah, that's
famously.
Yeah, that's kind of what. That's. I don't believe if you get a new crock pot, there's not going to be a new medium setting. No, there's 2 settings.
Also, I'm a little surprised that with her like Italian roots, is making lasagna in the crock pot. I know we've discussed this before, but it seems to me like that would be one of those things where she's laying the noodles, throwing the sauce, put in the ricotta, put in the mozzarella, I don't know if you guys throw meat into your lasagna or not, but and then layering it up. That feels like something that, somebody of Angie's descent would do, but
yeah. I think it was just a little too much heat for the noodles in the bottom of the crock pot. Which is currently soaking in gasoline right now to try and get those off the bottom of the crock pot.
You have to go get the jackhammer to try to get it off the bottom.
Maybe we just toss that bad boy, okay? We start fresh. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy now that we're all warmed up. A lot of stuff to get to today. Giannis reacting to Bobby Portis, speculating about his future. We will get to that and more as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy gets going here on a Monday.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 41, we got some backups coming in from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing from just before Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. We've got some delays along northbound 43 as well, coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a few afternoon clouds, a high of 69 at the lake, 80 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few showers later on, a low of 52. Lake Lawn Resort offers everything you need from lakeside rooms to gourmet dining and a luxurious spa. Relax, recharge, and enjoy the best of Delavan. Book your stay now at lakelawnresort.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Insight from the best without ever giving it a rest.
15 yards away from the high jump. Well, I talked to 7'2½". Pretty amazing.
I had like 9 people yell that at me at the draft because Homer's an idiot.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
Yeah! The delivery of that information was magnificent, John.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kessler's has diamond pendants for Mother's Day.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Mother's Day celebrates motherhood.
And it's always appropriate to give a Mother's Day gift to a mom.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Your mother is a mother.
Your wife may be a mother.
Your girlfriend may be a mother.
Your sister may be a mother.
Your grandmother's certainly a mother.
You might even have a coworker who is a mother.
Motherhood needs to be celebrated.
Always.
You heard the part about the $148, right?
Giving a diamond pendant to a mom who wasn't expecting it is one of the greatest joys you'll ever experience.
The surprise on their face when you say Happy Mother's Day is worth 10 times the price you paid.
They'll remember that gift forever.
And you will, too.
Welcome to Kessler's, where you can buy a diamond Mother's Day pendant for just $148.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You want more physical harm beset upon people who are trying to earn a living.
I want winners. If someone has to die in order for us to win, then that's the price you pay.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I seen your picture. Your name is lots above it.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what week of the month it is, what month of the offseason it is, people are wondering. People be wondering about Giannis Antetokounmpo's future. And so when Bobby Portis did a recent media round, people asked him. It was on FanDuel, the show Run It Back with Michelle Beadle. They were asking him about Giannis and what Bobby Portis thinks Giannis's future looks like. Take a listen.
I just think, man, that Giannis bleed green, though. I think he bleed green, man. I think he bleeds, loyalty. I think he bleeds, wanting that Tim Duncan, Kobe-esque type career, Steph Curry type career where they play with one franchise. Obviously, it sounds really, really good that, Giannis leaves and goes to another team, but realistically, if you trade for him, just looking at business-wise, you trade for him, obviously he's going to make, $58, $60 million. I mean, you got to trade your whole team.
Yeah, 100% from Bobby Portis. What you're going to have to give up, are you still going to be competitive enough with Giannis with what you have to, because you're going to have to give up some core pieces.
Well,
in order to get, because you can't get Giannis for free.
How is that attractive to Giannis? Like, how is that situation attractive to him? If you're going to build something, rebuild something, why not rebuild here? As opposed to rebuilding on a team that would have just been gutted to make the trade for Giannis.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the Bucks' pitch to him. Is, hey, look, wherever we end up trading you, the situation is going to end up being very similar to what we have here.
But it hasn't worked. Traded for Dame, hasn't worked. Who do they get? But who was there before Dame?
Drew Holiday.
All right, that worked. Before him didn't work.
Eric Bledsoe.
That didn't work. He's gonna have to be patient because it's gonna take a couple years. They ain't winning it next year, I can tell you that.
Yeah, correct.
Probably ain't winning it the year after that. I mean, what are they going to do with Dame when his number's $58 million?
I mean, they have no option but to pay it. It's guaranteed.
58.
Yeah, once he opts in, he will opt in because I have a hard time imagining A, he's going to play next year, and B, that he would opt out to go sign somewhere else, and then somebody else is going to give somebody in their mid-30s coming off an Achilles injury $58 million. So I'm assuming he opts into that player option that he has.
So what's
in a couple of seasons?
They got to be talking plan already.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've kind of.
Like, how do they sell it? How do you sell it to him? How do you sell it?
I mean, I think the way you sell it is, hey, we're going to try to bring back those young pieces. Obviously, so Bobby's got a player option. That's something he talked about on Run It Back. You bring back the young pieces that he was playing with at the end of that Pacers series. You know, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., have those guys try to get younger. All these guys are younger than you. Giannis, the ball is going to be in your hands a lot because we don't have Dame. That's something that we know you really enjoy. And you end up putting up, ridiculous Jokic-esque numbers, taking us to, the 6-5, maybe the 4 seed if things fall into place, and you're in the MVP conversation again. I think that's the pitch short term for 2025-26.
Does the NBA lottery being tonight have any effect on this situation?
I don't know if it affects. Yes and no. No, in that this all comes down to Giannis, and I don't think Giannis cares who wins the draft lottery. Like to me, that doesn't matter for Giannis. For the Bucks, if Giannis asks out, I think the answer to that would be yes. Because if Houston wins, if San Antonio wins, having the number 1 overall pick, so much more valuable than just a first-round pick. Right? And you can try to, you build out around that because then you assume that Cooper Flagg would be a part of any sort of deal should Giannis ask out. So there is some significance for the Bucks if Giannis asks out, which is still a big if based on what Bobby Portis was saying.
But this isn't like the NFL where, hey, I'll give you 4 first-round picks. No, right? There's no juice to that. Is there?
You need 4 first-round picks and players.
And then...
Yeah.
And players.
Yeah. Again, Mikal Bridges, who's playing for the New York Knicks right now, went for 5 first-round picks. Mikal Bridges is not a 2-time NBA MVP.
No.
He's not somebody who scored 50 points in a finals game to close out a championship.
They're not even in the same stratosphere. So let's advance the story because that obviously got posted on all of the social media accounts, including Bobby Portis is posting it on his, to which Giannis Antetokounmpo responded. Giannis put on Bobby's post where Bobby was saying that Giannis bleeds, bleeds green, what we played for you just a few moments ago. And Giannis said, "Don't worry about me, ! What you doing, Bobby? You staying or leaving? Laughing face emoji." Oh, and Chew, for clarification's sake, it's the laughter with the tears. You know, the ones that are right here by the Cheetah, because we went through this a few weeks ago where we were all confused about which emoji was which, but the one where he's laughing and the tears are on the side of the face. What do you make of that, Chew?
It's still a hardcore laugh. It's the one I use. I don't prefer the one that comes down like a waterfall.
In what world am I asking you about which emoji you care? What do you think about Giannis's tweet?
In fairness, the last thing you said was about the emoji, so that's what caught his attention.
Yes.
So
what were the emojis? Give me the emojis. Just the crying eyes or laughing eyes?
Here, look at that. That is what he posted on Instagram.
Oh, look at how convenient. He's just handing you the laptop. He didn't have to print out a piece of paper.
He really didn't have to put the laughing emoji.
Well,
he just did that to diffuse it a little bit.
Yeah, he's not. He can't do anything serious. Like, he's Giannis. He's a clown.
But he wants to know why. What's Bobby's deal?
He's got a player option. So he can opt in. He can become a free agent by opting out, or he can opt in for just like it's 13.5-ish million.
Where would he make more money? Opting out?
I mean, he could opt out and certainly make like more guaranteed money. Like, I think he gets more guaranteed money that way, where he signs a bigger contract and it's got more years and more money. 13.5 to 15 is probably what he would get on the open market.
This is a very chicken or the egg thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you're Bobby Portis, don't you want to know what Giannis's plans are before you decide what your plans are?
But these guys are not dumb, okay? And what I mean by that, we knew when I played, we knew when we were good enough to win it all.
Yeah.
And you know when you're not good enough to win it all.
Fair.
They know they are not good enough to win it all.
But what's I guess, once you have that ring, is it important to get another one? For Giannis and his legacy, yes. But if you're more of an ancillary player, is it more important?
If I'm Bobby Portis, if put myself in Bobby Portis' shoes, how old's Bobby? I mean, middle of his career, is he in his prime right now?
Yeah,
you got your championship.
He's late 20s. He's late 20s. He's 30, excuse me. Turned 30 earlier this year.
He reads a lot older, though, doesn't he, when you see Bobby?
You're leaving.
Really?
I would leave.
And would you ring chase?
No, I would maximize my dollars.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then ring chase the next time.
Then you chase the next time. Correct. Yes.
What if the Bucks can maximize his dollars?
I don't know.
Because again, opting in would be a fair price in terms of the yearly salary that you would get.
Chew, you played your whole career with the Green Bay Packers, so you don't have the perspective of having played for another franchise and making that transition, but you did think about it.
I did. I thought about it the first time around.
And when you thought about it at all, did the idea of this is familiar, I know all of the things here at this place with this franchise, all of that would be new, and the transition, did that enter your thought process at all?
No, because I hadn't won a ring yet. So my first big contract, I had teams that were going to pay me more money. So I had to balance, like, it's really not worth it. We're on the uptick here. This core is great.
Didn't you also just get bullied into it by Holmgren?
Yes, I did. Good point. No, it's different once you have that one and you know, all right, this is going to be a rebuild. You're going to be there a while. I mean, it'll depend on where he's getting offers from.
Yeah, and in that interview, Bobby, they asked him, and he said he hasn't really reached that portion of his offseason. He's enjoying the offseason, not going to really start thinking about that until June, but also did mention that, he is referred to as the unofficial mayor of Milwaukee, and when the fan base calls you the mayor and you're beloved like that, he said that's really hard to leave. If I were to leave, that would be a difficult thing to leave behind, is how beloved he is here.
Yeah. There's a lot of factors. Would you rather play in Miami or Milwaukee? Personally, probably rather would play because of the weather in Miami.
Well, yeah, but you just talked about this.
I'm just telling
the
you
old
what
people.
goes through. This is what goes through players' minds.
Yeah, the old
you
people
can't be
live in
trusted.
Miami, or are they more north?
Who's that?
The old people. The ones
they're everywhere.
You can't escape them.
They're everywhere. But no, you do think about in Green Bay. Green Bay is Green Bay. It's not New York. It's not L.A. It's not Dallas. If that works, a lot of guys didn't want to come there just because it's like,
what do you do?
What do you do? There's nothing there.
But some people that are all football, that's your place.
Yes. Yes. And they've done a great job with that. But I'm just telling there's factors that players look at that you guys might think are off the wall. But that's...
Well, you're off the wall. You couldn't tell me anything that surprises me at this point.
Put it this way. When we won my deal, I signed the next year. When did I sign that? Might have been after Denver.
Okay.
But I re-signed in the middle of the season. If I had waited to the end of the season and a good team at that time, I would have entertained it. Certainly. You'd be crazy not to. Right? So, yeah, there's a lot of factors. But they both sound like they want to win another ring.
And if I'm being honest, I think they both want to do it in Milwaukee. I think that Giannis
how long
doesn't.
is it going to take? That's the problem.
That's the issue.
So I bet you that you can convince them, let's just say Giannis singularly, that they can fall into a championship. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. I think that there were times, especially at the end of the regular season, even when Dame was not there with the blood clot, that Giannis convinced himself that he could drag this roster to a championship. Like, that's just a winner's mentality. And I'm not saying he's delusional. I'm just saying that he looked around and went, if that guy has a big night here and that guy has a big night here and I can get my triple-double, we can make some noise. Now, ultimately, it didn't end up working, so maybe he will have to use that data and input that into the computer and use that to make a future conclusion. But I believe that that's what he thought was possible this year.
And it seems like in the NBA, things are pretty wide open right now. I mean, you're watching how things are playing out right now. I mean, Minnesota's favored to make it to another Western Conference Finals. And after they made their big trade of Karl Anthony Towns last year, not many people were predicting that, right? And the way that the Indiana Pacers looked like as a 4 seed, looked like they're going to be going to their second consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. Things seem wide open right now in the NBA. So the right tweak here, the right little move there, and I think that you still have to squint a little bit, but Giannis could talk himself into, this could happen sooner here than even I think.
Especially true if you believe that the players who were on the roster this year that they choose to keep elevate a little bit, get a little bit better. We had talked about how not a ton of playoff experience, smatterings here and there with the roster, but you get a little bit better and you become a little more comfortable in your role and you start producing at a little bit of a higher level, and all of that stuff sort of raises the tide. 800-990-3776. When Giannis weighed in on Bobby Portis's post that he thinks Giannis bleeds green, and basically saying that if, he's leaning towards Giannis wanting to stay based on all of these things. He mentioned all these players whose careers have been just with one franchise. And Giannis said, don't worry about me. What are you doing, Bobby? You staying or leaving, with the laughing, crying face emoji. You think he's staying? To me, it was like he's not joking around about this stuff if there is a good chance he's leaving, because he recognizes how devastating that would be to the fans, right? This loses a little bit of the humor if he ultimately ends up leaving. Whereas right now, Gabe, I think you can chalk it up to this guy loves a good joke.
If he was leaving, why would he care what Bobby did? If he was leaving. If in his mind he's already gone, what does he care what Bobby Portis does?
They're still going to need another superstar. Who's that going to be? You're not winning without another superstar.
Can you get a B player, though, Chew?
I mean, Dame in 2 years is going to be 36, coming in off Achilles. I mean, he's still going to be good, but he's not going to be a superstar.
I mean, it's different, because I would say right now for the Cavs have one superstar. They've got a lot of depth and some really good players behind.
Yeah.
And now, he's hurt. Donovan Mitchell's hurt. They're down 3-1 in that series, but they had the best record in the East this year with just that one superstar. The Pacers, I don't even know if they have a superstar. They just have really good players.
But Minnesota's young, right? Isn't Oklahoma
City's even younger.
Young. I mean,
which is why
Lopez isn't a part of this.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, he's strictly a free agent. He might retire. Who knows what he does?
No, I'm just saying if you're relevant in 3 years.
Oh yeah, probably
he's not there.
No, probably not.
It's funny because
who's the next superstar? That's
what I was going to say is, can you build a superstar? Can you create a superstar? It feels like that's almost like bestowed. Like you have that special combination of elite skill and talent and work ethic and all of those. Then you stay healthy and poof, superstar. But it doesn't feel like in the NBA. And Gabe, you'll have to help me because your depth of knowledge on these rosters is deeper than mine. Are there guys who were like middling players who just like worked their tails off and elevated themselves to superstar level? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of diamonds in the rough, if you will, Aladdin, in the NBA.
I mean, I think it happens probably more often than you think. I mean, Donovan Mitchell did that. I mean, granted, he did it years ago when he was with the Jazz before he ended up coming to the Cavs. They were discussing an interesting stat this morning on Unsportsmanlike, which is before us here on ESPN Radio, where in the lottery era, only 4 players who have been drafted number 1 overall have won a championship with the team that drafted them.
Interesting.
So there are a lot of players. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, good player. Like, he continues to ascend each and every year, especially when he has playoff moments like he had hitting that layup against the Bucks, hitting the 3 earlier in the series that they're currently in. So I think guys are kind of growing and almost created just about every year.
Is he a superstar?
Halliburton? Not yet.
Superstar light?
Yeah. Esque.
About to bounce the Cavs.
Yeah.
He also had 4 points the other night. He's got some inconsistencies there.
You know what they feel like Miami to me? Remember a couple years ago, Miami went to the finals. And you're like, this is a finals team?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like that?
But why can't you convince Giannis of, hey, we can do that?
Oh, you can.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's
I think that's a
buy
part
it.
of the pitch. But if that wasn't that long, that was just a couple years ago, where as an 8 seed, they made a run to the finals. If the Pacers as a 5 seed, or excuse me, as a 4 seed this year, do the same thing.
I don't think it's the Bucks. And I know it's tampering, but tampering happens everywhere. It's more of another team coming up with a package to get Giannis and convincing you got a much better chance here than you do in Milwaukee.
The tough part about that is, hey, Giannis, this is what we're going to give up to you. Now the Bucks have to say yes to that package. Or the Bucks go, no, we need more.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the tough part about the tampering of, hey, Giannis, we think we can put this package together and get you. And yeah. And then, okay, Giannis wants out. All right, Milwaukee, here's our offer. And John Horst goes, no, I need more.
Yeah.
This is going to sound stupid, and I'm prefacing this by saying this is going to sound stupid. But I believe there are people who would rather have Giannis stay than the Bucks win a title with a band of misfits 5 years down the road. And again, they would become more beloved players. But I think there are people right now who have convinced themselves that having Giannis supersedes any chance at a title with a rebuild because of the relationship with Giannis. And again, I said, it sounds stupid to say out loud because you would think that in this ring-chasing era, in this titles era, when people care about how many championships have been won, I think the relationship between the fan base and Giannis is so strong, they would rather have him here carrying the torch for Milwaukee than, hey, we're going to put together a roster that could win a title in 5 years. Yes, but Giannis has to go. Right, but we could win a title. Right, but we could also win a title with Giannis. Let's do that instead. What do you think? We'll talk about that as the show goes on here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Live listening, show replays, exclusive content. It is all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. Find the new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores right now.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Got some delays northbound 43 now from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Hampton down to Burleigh. Eastbound 94, watch for delays from 84th Street to Holly Road and then again through the Stadium interchange to 35th. And then on southbound 41, slowing down from just before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side slowing from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a few afternoon clouds, a high of 69 at the lake, 80 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few showers later on, a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Club Paragon Greenfield, Deer Camp Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, New Berlin Ale House, and Stenny's Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought
Salvation
every time
Army.
that they hear their name when it's non-scheduled, that's what they want to hear.
I could hear Ashley laughing in the background.
Am I right or wrong?
He's not wrong. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Ryan from Milwaukee weighing in on our carbless talk and text line 800-990-3776. There's no championship in the next 25 years if they trade Giannis. Even with all the draft capital they would get, I only see years of irrelevance if they trade him. And maybe that's what is fueling this hypothetical I'm throwing out there, which is to say, I think there are Bucks fans who would rather keep Giannis. No guarantee of a championship. Maybe you could even argue less odds of a championship if you keep Giannis because you still have to keep surrounding him with the merry band of misfits, Giannis and co. But there's no guarantee that you win a championship with the pieces you get for Giannis. So, Gabe, do you think I'm that crazy to say that there are Bucks fans who would say, hey, roll the dice with one of the best players ever in the world, ever, as opposed to trying to stock the cupboard for what would also be a potential championship?
Yeah, but you would have to. That would have to be a pretty high percentage chance. Like you got to either guarantee a championship or get pretty close to it. If it's just like, well, it's a 55% chance if we go get all these pieces, or 45 with Giannis. Yeah, I think a lot of people would say, well, let's just roll the dice with Giannis. Let's keep him here and make him a Milwaukee guy for his entire career.
What is he going to look like at 33? Because we were just talking about it.
Pretty same to what he's right now.
You know who's undefeated? Father Time. He always wins. Always. And when you can't shoot, you said he's a better shooter. I look at him as...
No, he was one of the more efficient mid-range players in the NBA this year. He cut down on his threes.
How is his game going to translate when he's 33, 34, 35?
You're saying he's going to be slower, a little bit slower.
Well, I mean, is he going to be able to go to the hole as aggressively now and do all this stuff? I'm telling you, I don't know what it is for basketball. But at 30...
Well, and, we always talk about a hit rate in football, about how many hits a guy can take.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a physical brand, and he's banging around in there, and he's taking a lot of hits and scratches, and, guys are trying to keep him from scoring, obviously. Yeah. That's going to wear on him at some point, right?
I'm not saying he's not going to be in the... He's going to still be an important piece, but I don't know if he's going to be the piece...
LeBron's in his 40s and still incredibly efficient.
Yeah, well, sure.
Like, but if you're saying because people said the same thing about LeBron.
I know things.
I
know things.
I mean, just a couple, but
yes.
it is plural. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share what you're referring to now?
I don't want to insinuate anything.
I think you already insinuated it, but that's beside the point.
I don't think I did.
It's the gray area of insinuate that he's really working with here. Jeez. All right, we'll try to get me back on track then, since I thought maybe we were taking that on-ramp, but apparently it's closed.
No.
God, I would have loved to take pellets when I was flipping playing. Woo! I could maybe play 2 positions at the same time. No,
and
really.
There it is.
It makes a difference.
Yes. But hopefully you're not insinuating a second thing.
I'm not. I'm just saying myself.
Okay.
I wonder if... I could have skirted the system, probably. You guys have no idea. The stuff that they used to do, and I'm not talking about anyone. I'm just talking about our locker room.
Yeah.
And roommates in college and stuff.
Why don't you give us a story?
Have you ever seen the program?
Yeah.
You ever see what the one guy did?
Which one guy?
Latimer.
What did he do, Gabe?
I mean, we're talking about roids here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put someone else's urine in his bladder to pee? I have a roommate that did that. Is that disgusting or what?
That's something.
I got questions, but I'm not going to ask any of them.
Well, I am. Do you go in the same way it comes out?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't want to know that.
Well,
catheter? I'm anti-catheter.
Well, hopefully you never have surgery and need one.
Typically, that's not really a choice you get to make.
Exactly.
Just kind of something that happens.
Force it onto you.
Doesn't it have to come out or no?
The catheter?
Eventually, hopefully.
No, the Ziz.
Yeah, wasn't that the point? It was supposed to come out into a little cup, and then they pretended it was his own.
Know.
Okay, so Chewy, if I offer you this hypothetical,
yes,
keep Giannis, try to make a run at a championship with Giannis and Co. Trade Giannis, try to make a run at a championship with whatever you got back. Do you lean one way or the other? Oh, jeez.
No.
Gabe.
Yeah. No, I'm on it.
Fudge.
I keep them, but there's got to be some sort of purge. And then a Jordan Love quick rebuild turnaround. That's what I'm looking for. No, I would not trade. I would not trade him.
All right, well, we got some breaking news here.
Oh, boy.
Ish?
We have breaking news.
I guess. Two-time NBA MVP has not made any firm decisions on his Bucks' future after the franchise's third consecutive postseason exit in the first round. But for the first time in his career, Antetokounmpo is open-minded to exploring whether his best long-term fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere, league sources told ESPN. That's from Shams Charania moments ago. I mean,
what does that mean?
Isn't that the thing we got last week about Jair? This is news that's not really news, just masquerading as news. Like, didn't we kind of already... I guess this is an official report about it, but isn't this what we kind of have been talking about since the season ended? That this feels real for the first time ever, and I guess he's open-minded about it?
I don't like it.
Why?
Well, because it undermines what everybody has been using as their evidence that he would not leave, which is led by loyalty, bleeds green.
Why, you didn't think he'd kick the tires at all?
I thought he would kick the tires, but I didn't think it would get to the point where that kicking would be considered open-minded.
But kicking the tires is open-minded.
I'm going to nuance this just like Chewy did, insinuating a few moments ago. I think there are layers and levels to kicking the tires on something.
But kicking the tires means you're open-minded to something.
No, I think you listen to all offers, but I don't necessarily think that means you're open-minded.
If you're listening, that means you're open-minded.
I don't think so. I think you still listen because of due diligence.
That's open-minded.
Yeah, but he could have.
We're listing synonyms right now.
I don't think so.
He has the ability to shut it down. He can come and say, "Hey, I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah,
okay,
100%.
I'm committed to the. He could say that, but he hasn't. So, I mean, everyone wants to be wanted, right?
Yeah. The Bucks and Antetokounmpo's representative is expected to sit down during the offseason to discuss the future, sources said. So they haven't even had the conversation with the Bucks yet. Like, we're still super early in this process.
Yeah, but it's going to come from tampering first, I believe.
Well, yeah, and I mean, who knows where this is coming from?
Yeah. Shams is legit, right?
Yeah, but this also could be coming from a team going, oh, yeah, we talked to the Bucks. You know, it might not be coming from Giannis's camp, might not be coming from the Bucks camp.
Get used to it.
100%. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they haven't even had a meeting with the Bucks yet, buckle in. This is going to be long.
I agree.
I need to take a break. Whether the show needs one or not, I need one. I got to gather my thoughts. I got to figure out how I feel about this breaking news. Giannis Antetokounmpo open-minded about leaving Bucks. That from Shams Charania reporting just moments ago on ESPN. It looks like Brian Windhorst is reacting to it on Get Up. We will continue to react to it here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. So what does that mean? Means maybe you're tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself like you did years ago. Those could all be signs of low testosterone. And if it is, Mentality can help. Book an appointment. LowTUSA.com is the website you go to book that appointment. You go through their process, get a blood panel done. If your levels are low, they have a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. That's right. The plan that they come up with is going to be just for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all. They want to make sure that your levels are exactly where they need to be. There's no better safe and insured medical solution available, so go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatment, lowtusa.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws, and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Kevin Moret for Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls. Right now, get 50% off your windows plus no interest and no payments for 12 months and a free entry door with your window purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What was a rebound? What did you just say?
Robust.
Robust.
You could say robust. Doesn't robust sound like a nice word of saying just a click below fat?
No, buddy, you're not fat.
Well,
you're
there's
rebound.
Well, Charles Barkley.
There's another R.
Round mound of rebound.
On 94.5 ESPN.
The NBA draft lottery is tonight, and the general thought, at least from Shams Charania, is that Giannis Antetokounmpo is right smack dab in the middle of this whole thing. That what Giannis does or doesn't do has reverb through the entire league, and that whatever happens tonight could play a role in Giannis's future. And again, it's a little bit of a degrees of separation thing, and it's a little bit of a hypothetical. But Giannis right now, guys, is the straw that stirs the NBA drink. And so Shams just put a report out there, guys, that says, and, you know, I got to be honest, I don't like hearing it. I don't want this to be reality. Sources, Giannis Antetokounmpo to explore best fits outside of Milwaukee. And the phrase that they were using on Get Up just a moment ago is that he is open to, whatever you want to say, open-minded about exploring whether his best long-term fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere, league sources told ESPN. Chewy, thoughts?
Where did it come from? In order for him to come out with this breaking news, obviously, Giannis, his brother, his agent.
Agency.
Well, he reached out to someone.
Yeah. I mean, Shams is, he's the best, and he's the best at what he does. Like, he didn't pull this out of thin air.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
But to me, the word open-minded is just so ambiguous. Yeah, he's open-minded about exploring those options, also open-minded about remaining in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but
it's not like, I'm done with Milwaukee.
Kind of detracts a little bit to what Bobby said about, he bleeds.
The narrative can be whatever you want it to be. Kobe once demanded a trade from the Los Angeles Lakers.
No, I get it.
But he's looked at as, he was loyal to the Lakers through and through. He literally demanded a trade.
Well, let me ask you this then, Gabe. Does your gut tell you this is strategic? Does your gut tell you that there is some strategy here of releasing this information to sort of, I don't even know what the end game would be, but that this is more of a play than a position?
I think it's nice to be wanted. When Tony Dungy came up to me on the field and said, God, you'd look good in orange, when I was going to be that's great. It's great to be wanted.
Tony Dungy was with Tampa Bay at the time?
Tony was with Tampa Bay at the time. Denny Green,
I only picture Tony Dungy with the Colts. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to picture Chewy in that creamsicle now. I don't know. I think you'd have been better off. I think you'd have been better off in like the red kind of stuff they have now than the creamsicle.
I'm a Carolina blue guy.
Just because you have the Carolina blue shirt on today?
How is that relevant?
I just like Carolina blue. So if I was going to pick a uniform, I'm going Chargers or I'm going maybe Carolina Panthers.
Can you imagine picking their future team based on the colors of the uniform?
Chewy's a free agent. He's picking it like a lot of people pick their NCAA brackets. Oh, I like this uniform. I like this uniform.
So he wants to be wanted.
But isn't he wanted without the report?
Yes.
Isn't he wanted just in general? you want to be wanted, but you also want people to know that you are wanted.
I want you to want me.
Yes.
Famously.
The Dream Police. Na 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 na. Simone, Fast Times Ridgemont High.
I'm taking a break.
You guys are so happy on
We have a reaction from Evan Cohen to this Giannis breaking
screw
news.
Evan. What the hell is
Yeah! Get him, Chew!
Right after this.
Delays are coming out of the Mitchell interchange on 4394 northbound, right around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Once you get through the Marquette, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, you start to slow down just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slows down from Silver Spring all the way down past Locust. Westbound 94, you got your backups out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Some more patchy delays west of Elm Grove Road all the way to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, slowing down from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, mostly sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds, a high of 69 at the lake, 80 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a few showers later on, a low of 52. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. It's baseball season. Don't let a leaky roof strike you out. Hit a home run with Avondale Roofing, Wisconsin's top choice for quality and protection. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
To be labeled as bourbon, a whiskey must be distilled from a mash that is at least 51% made of this grain.
What is corn?
Correct.
I'll take liquor for 800.
A cocktail of rum, grapefruit juice, lime juice, simple syrup, and maraschino liqueur is a daiquiri named for this American author.
Who is Ernest Hemingway?
Correct again, Marie. You're on a roll.
Liquor for 1,000, Ken.
Taking a shot of whiskey and immediately chugging a beer is a quote-unquote recipe for this drink, named because it was once served to workers ending their shifts.
What is a Boilermaker?
Unbelievable. Where can you find the best variety of beer, wine, and liquor?
Well, Ken, I am from Discount Liquor, where we have an encyclopedia-like knowledge of all things alcohol. We've been a family-owned and operated business since 1960, and we've all grown up with alcohol as a second language. Our business has literally served multiple generations of Wisconsinites. In Milwaukee, on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha, on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor. Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
In true Chewy fashion, right before we turn on our microphones, because when it comes to working out, how long can I wear these shorts before I have to wash them?
What, do you smell something?
Do I smell something? What am I, hard of smelling? Of course I smell something.
What is it?
Wear it once, wear it twice, wear it 3 times. And when what prompted the question to myself?
You start to smell them a little bit?
Not smell, they're a little dirty.
What do you mean by dirty?
It's B.O. The valet must have had B.O.
Can't be. Nobody has B.O. like this.
Jerry, it's B.O.
But the whole car smells.
Like some sweat stains or other types of stains?
I don't know what that is.
Because the other type of stains, probably, throw them in there.
Well, that's only with the whites. The whites are definitely 2. And you have to look at the backside to be like, all right, yeah.
So when somebody has B.O., the O usually stays with the B. Once the B leaves, the O goes with it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count our chairs.
The most Monday post in the history of Mondays. Shams Charania telling us that Giannis Antetokounmpo has not made any firm decisions, but for the first time in his career, he is open-minded about whether his best fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere, league sources told ESPN. They are talking about it on all of the shows. Now they're talking about how could the results of the draft lottery affect the future of Giannis. They were also talking about it on Unsportsmanlike after the news broke from Shams Charania. Our friend Evan Cohen weighing in on this breaking news.
Let me be clear. This is very clear by Shams. Giannis has not asked out. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But two things are happening. One, he's open-minded. And two, the draft lottery is tonight. And the draft lottery includes teams that were in the playoffs this year and teams that should have been in the playoffs this year and teams that have mega stars. Who am I talking about? Houston is a 2 seed. San Antonio with Wemby. If you get the number 1 pick in the draft and you could sell Milwaukee on the idea of, I know you don't want to get rid of Giannis, but I'm handing you a franchise player who will sell tickets upon arrival, that's when those talks feel different than years past. Let me be clear.
Gabe? I mean, you're handing a potential. Like, you can build but that doesn't take the compensation down at all. Like, Cooper Flagg is a really intriguing piece. I don't think you can call him a franchise player upon stepping in the NBA. He's a potential franchise piece.
Well, sure, because there's been a long line of guys who you thought would be franchise players. And look, Zion is always going to get the first crack at that.
I mean, Zion has played like a quarter of the games that he's been able to, and that's been a big part of why he has been inefficient, and the Pelicans haven't been very good. But yeah, I mean, having the number 1 overall pick is just so much more valuable, especially when you know you can get Cooper Flagg versus, oh, here's a first-round pick in 2027, because you have no idea where that pick is going to fall.
So you're saying if there is any intrigue for what goes on tonight in the NBA draft lottery, it is if one of the teams that would be interested in Giannis gets that number 1 pick?
Yeah, because that strengthens the package that you can offer.
And in your mind, what are those teams? Because again,
literally just the two that he mentioned. It's Houston and San Antonio. It's Houston and San Antonio because Houston has a bunch of picks that they can trade, and picks that don't belong to them, by the way, which is super valuable because the Bucks don't have their picks. So if you're getting the Suns pick and, in a couple of years, the Suns aren't going to be any good, like that helps versus, oh, yeah, we'll give you our 2028 first-round pick. Well, you're going to be pretty good, Houston, because you have Giannis. Yeah. So having that Suns pick would certainly be more valuable. San Antonio has a bunch of picks. And some intriguing young players that they could build a package around that number 1 overall pick as well, should they end up winning the draft lottery tonight.
San Antonio, according to fanspo.com, has a 6% chance of getting the first overall pick, I believe. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yes. And you mentioned Houston as well. According to this, a 4.5% chance of getting the first pick. If you're curious about what the numbers show or the simulators show, Utah, Washington, and Charlotte each have a 14% chance, according to this sim, of getting the first pick in the lottery tonight.
Yeah, so that's...
Are we rooting for those teams then?
Yeah, because guess what? He ain't going to Utah.
Come on, Utah. Let's go, Utah. Or even Washington or Charlotte. I mean, are you at the point, Gabe, where you're like collecting information and maybe putting it together? If you believe a report from a few weeks ago that indicates Giannis might want a big market team, might be New York, might want Chicago. But by all accounts, those teams do not have the assets. LA's another one. Do not have the assets to put together a package that could get Giannis.
No, LA doesn't. New York might be able to put something interesting together, but again, the lack of picks that the Knicks have, because again, they had to go out and trade all their picks to get Mikal Bridges on that team. So that makes it tough for the Knicks to do that. Yeah, I have a hard time imagining one of those bigger market teams, which is why now it falls. Houston is incredibly intriguing because they were the 2 seed this year. They obviously are a very good team. They lost in the first round to Golden State, and they need that star. Have a lot of good players, but everything else makes more sense if they have that star. So Houston's probably the most intriguing team to me because of the assets and picks they have.
Chewy, how should Bucks fans feel about this breaking news this morning? It's a Monday. You're already dragging on a Monday, and now open-minded.
Seinfeld's scale of concern. What's the middle one?
I'm a little stressed.
Probably between stressed and yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. My guess is you think he talked to the Bucks already? You think he went to the Bucks and said, well, what's our plan? And my guess is the Bucks said, I don't know.
Well,
we have to figure this thing out.
According to the Shams report, I think they haven't had the meeting yet. Maybe they had a meeting, but there is a paragraph in the story on ESPN.com from Shams saying that the Bucks and Antetokounmpo's representatives are expected to sit down during the offseason and to discuss the future.
Does he like Doc?
Yes.
He likes Doc.
He likes Doc.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
You know what? I just think it's nice to be wanted. You know?
Well, but again,
take a couple, it's like NFL. Take a couple free agent trips, go check it out. But at the end of the day, it's like, nah, I'm not going to leave.
And again, I think a lot of this comes down to you start exploring some of these options and you quickly realize like the list of teams that have enough assets to be able to give up to get you and remain as competitive as you want them to be, pretty few and far between.
I think he does leave at some point in time, but it's not now. How's that? Fair?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because hopefully when this happens again, you say the same thing again. And you keep saying the same thing. I would love for Giannis to be a Buck for life. Like we haven't had, I missed the very tail end. I guess I caught the very tail end of Robin Yount's career.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really the last major star we had that did that.
You're talking in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, yes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Braun played for but he's not on that same level.
No.
Where he won he won an MVP, didn't win the championship the way that Brett did or Aaron did. And obviously those guys went to go play elsewhere. But we haven't had that, hey, this is our guy, and he's always going to be our guy for a really long time.
I agree.
At this point, Gabe, is your understanding that the Bucks are just resigned to be a luxury tax team year in and year out?
As long as you have Giannis, yes.
So when we talked about the Chris Middleton trade and we talked about the second apron, what would keep them from going up and over the second apron? Is it not re-signing Brooke Lopez? Is it?
Oh, no, they're under the second apron. So they don't have to worry about that this offseason. That maybe becomes something they worry about in the future if they're able to add somebody with a little bit more money this offseason. But that's not a worry.
They're significantly enough below it that that's not something that comes into play when they're making these decisions.
Correct.
Do you wait on it, though? Let's say you have free agent money this year. Do you be like, we'll make playoffs next year, but we're not going to make a push at it, so let's kind of stockpile stuff, kind of get rid of guys that aren't going to be here when hopefully they can make a move in 3 years?
Yeah, because it's not just the tough part for Horst, and we've heard how many GMs talk about this. It's not just about what do I do for this year.
Yes.
What am I doing 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line?
Yeah.
It's about playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I think that's a possibility, Chew? Absolutely.
Okay.
That's absolutely
just a
possibility.
soft rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will put the Seinfeld scale of concern on the Twitter account. We haven't done that in a while, so we got to be refreshed on what they are. Yada, yada, yada. You look a little stressed. I'm freaking out. We'll put that on the poll with this new breaking news from Shams Charania about Giannis being open-minded about the possibility of playing elsewhere, right? He's going to do his due diligence, if you will. How are you feeling? What's your confidence level that Giannis will be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks next season? We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I want to get to a few other things this morning. This has sort of hijacked the show with good reason, obviously. I think there's a lot of concern and intrigue and curiosity here in Milwaukee, but also everywhere, as we discussed. But we will try to pivot to another topic right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays are coming out of the Mitchell interchange on 4394 northbound, right around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Once you get through the Marquette, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, you start to slow down just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slows down from Silver Spring all the way down past Locust. Westbound 94, you got your backups out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Some more patchy delays west of Elm Grove Road all the way to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, slowing down from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds. A high of 69 at the lakes, 80 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a few showers later on, a low of 52. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. It's baseball season. Don't let a leaky roof strike you out. Hit a home run with Avondale Roofing, Wisconsin's top choice for quality and protection. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Turn on your TV and watch the damn greatness in front of your nose.
At the end of the day, that's what you're measured by, championship.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Texting enrolls you in reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you like your pickles warm or cold?
Want my pickle a little warm.
Warm's good.
It's better than cold.
Cold
You
can
got
be good
shrinkage.
too.
Yeah, well, no,
Cold
shrinkage
can
gets
be good.
involved. It's not great.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Take a break from the Giannis Antetokounmpo breaking news from Shams Charania. If you're just tuning in, Giannis is open-minded. That is the word that is being used. I just want to make sure I read this correctly. About exploring whether his best long-term fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere, league sources told ESPN. I want to pivot for a moment to another story that I saw this weekend. The NCAA is considering lifting the rule that keeps players, coaches, and staff from betting on pro sports. So that means that maybe, just maybe, they will start allowing college athletes to bet on pro sports. And Will is with us this morning as Josh DiMaggio has an off day. Will, you were saying that this reminds you of the football team that got punished, right?
Yeah, I believe the Iowa State football team got punished for betting on, but that was their own games. But I do know, I'm pretty sure as a college athlete, you can bet on pro sports as long as they do not have that as an NCAA sanctioned sport. So it's only UFC is the only one that they can bet on.
Oh, that's an interesting little loophole.
Yeah.
If there's not an NCAA sanctioned sport. Huh.
Okay.
That's weird.
That is weird.
So how do you feel about this, guys? You okay with college players, one, betting on pro sports? Because the thing that I said is, we talk about the degrees of separation. Sometimes we joke about how, even being in this industry, we are friends with insiders, or we know insiders. We have Adam Schefter on our show. Adam Schefter obviously gets information all the time, and he filters out which information he goes public with and which information he's reporting. But I imagine that if Adam Schefter shared some of those details, and again, this is all hypothetical, I'm not saying he does this, with somebody who wanted to place a bet on something, that might help them direct their, financial, what do you call them? Contributions. No. Investments. There's the word I was looking for. Investments.
Okay, I just want to be clear. We're now called gambling investing.
That's correct. Okay. Now that we're
I just
clear,
want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Let's keep it moving. The degree of separation is small. Like, I think about guys who are in college who then have former teammates who are now in the league. If you're still friends with those guys, it feels like information might be being passed pretty easily.
But I feel like most of the information about players who actually affect those lines, like I think a couple of years ago when Aaron Rodgers, whether it was with Willie and Tausch, because it was before he was doing McAfee, let it be known that A.J. Hawk played like the entire season with a knee injury, even though he was never on the injury report because he practiced and he went through all that. He's like, yeah, A.J. was pretty banged up throughout the course of the year, so he went to bat for his guy. Okay, if A.J. Hawk appears on an injury report, it's not affecting the line. But if a quarterback does, or a running back, or a wide receiver, these are all the players that Adam is going to be plugged in on, that Diana Rossini is going to be plugged in on. And I feel like most of the information that's actually affecting lines is probably getting out because of how heavily, especially the NFL, NBA, less so to a Major League Baseball level. But when you think gambling, mostly you're thinking NFL, that's where a lot of the money's going to go. I don't have a problem with this because I feel like the information is probably already out there in terms of inside
in
info.
everything we do. What about the son of or the daughter of a coach? That's dialed in, week of practice, and at the dinner table, it's like, well, he ain't playing.
What about the girlfriend of a coach?
Girlfriend of a coach?
Think Hudson's kind of throwing some money down there if she gets some inside info.
We're calling her Hudson now?
I forgot her first name.
No, I like what Adam Strove calls her. Alex Strove calls her Jordan, which I thought was a good little.
But I mean, insider trading, it's the same thing. It's like if your dad works for a pharmaceutical company and hey, they're coming out, no one's heard of this, it's coming out. What's the difference, right? There's you're never going to be able to control it, right?
Yeah.
It's just part of it. I don't think if you can do it, and the thing with us as players, like if you can buy it at GNC, right? Mm-hmm. Why the hell can't we take it?
Yeah, it should be legal.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an interesting parallel. And is that how you think that college athletes feel? If everyone else is gambling on all of these things, why shouldn't we be able to?
I mean, you got to be careful. I don't think they should be able to bet on their own game.
Correct. Like, you leave all the college stuff out of it. And again, a lot of states that have legalized gambling, especially through apps and whatnot, and I know this is the case at Potawatomi as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't bet on, if Marquette's playing, you can't be betting on Marquette because they're a team within the state.
Or even, I don't have a problem with a college football player saying you can't bet on college football. Just can't.
Yeah.
You can bet pro, you can bet whatever, I had buddies that tried to pick me for information, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah, because you're just a big old lockbox over there, locking away the secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least,
big secret keeper
At
over
least
there.
Elaine had to drink the peach schnapps. You don't even need alcohol assistance.
We just have to ask the right question. Beans come spilling out.
Leave enough dead air for him to feel uncomfortable and need to fill it.
Our buddies would be like, hey, did Brett go out with you on Thursday night? Maybe. Okay, taking the under.
It's a great point by you.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is part of the NCAA running scared? Do you think this is the NCAA being like, man, we've been getting our butts handed to us on all of these things that we had these strict rules in place for. Maybe we acquiesce a little on the gambling. See, you were mentioning also like the Potawatomis and the places that have the apps. To me, all of this is so trackable now that they probably think if you're willing to risk it and bet on something, we're going to find you. We've got all the data where if you do step out of line and start betting on things you shouldn't be betting on, we can shut you down real quick.
Well, think about how, and not even just at the collegiate level, Will brought up the Iowa State stuff, but I think of Jamison Williams for the Detroit Lions, where you're not supposed to, like, he was making bets on the team bus, and that's not allowed, and they were able to track that and figure it out. So, yeah, with the apps and with where all this money is coming in, they'd be able to figure out.
Let me ask you this. Is it
quickly.
just Wisconsin, or is it every state you cannot bet on the collegiate teams?
It depends from state to state.
Inside the state.
But a lot of the places that have allowed the mobile betting, like I know just working with people at ESPN, like I know they can't bet on UConn games when they're in the state of Connecticut. Like if they want to pull up FanDuel or whatever they have up there, the ESPN bet app, they can't bet on UConn games. In the state of
smart,
Connecticut.
right? It's just to keep people from acting like knuckleheads and trying to influence the outcome of those games. It would be easiest from a proximity stash logistics standpoint to influence the outcome of those games. So they just say, I can't bet on them. Bet on anything else.
Yes.
You can literally bet on anything else except for the collegiate teams in your state. I think if you want to gamble, you can find something that tickles your fancy. So the NCAA is considering lifting the ban on pro sports betting. It sounds like you guys don't see any issue with it.
Yeah, as long as you you can't bet on college if you want to bet. Because how many guys are actually going to want to bet?
Because my kids sit there and they bet in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild. And all their friends do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
in
$5
the middle
here,
of the game,
$10
fourth
here.
quarter. I'm going to parlay this. I don't understand it because I don't like gambling.
Well, that was obvious when you just said, I'm going to parlay this.
Parlay this, parlay that.
It was strange because I went to Boston College and we were very big on point shaving. I had no idea what that is when it first came out.
Wait, really?
Point shaving. What does that have to do with a razor?
Were you there when that
No,
happened?
that was before
That was
me.
right before you.
Yeah.
That was right before you.
Yeah. Crazy.
You had no idea what point shaving was? What did you think it was? When you heard the term
They
point
can't come up
shaving,
with a better name than point shaving?
what would you call it?
Cheating.
It's fair. It's accurate.
It's easier to digest, I
Easier
guess.
to remember, for sure.
When he's right, he's right.
I was just checking to see if there were any other developments since that report came out, if there have been any other comments made on it. I guess my question to you is, if we're so okay with them making this change, what was the explanation? What was the justification for it existing in the first place?
Well, because, you couldn't gamble on anything for the longest time. So the NCAA is the slowest to move on anything and everything. So this is clearly just an old law or old bylaw that has existed for however long it's existed, and now they can finally just lift it. Because gambling, it wasn't that long ago where the NFL told Tony Romo he couldn't go to a fantasy football party in Vegas.
Correct.
It was that wasn't that long ago, and now gambling's just everywhere. It's more part of the culture. It's more accepted. So yeah, they're just going to follow suit.
I wonder if these FanDuels and these DraftKings and these betting spots were like, we are missing out on a whole population of people who are already invested in the sports space. Again, not the investment I was talking about before, but who are invested in it, and they're probably thinking, this is going to be a cash cow. We open it up to this population?
Well, especially with some of those guys who have NIL money, looking to burn a little NIL money, throw it down, gambling on pro sports. Yeah.
But if the stupid reasoning is because they may know someone on an NFL team.
Yeah.
I had just as many NARP friends as I did athletic friends. Maybe even more. Because you're so sick of hanging out with these guys.
And so what is your point? So then you were telling those guys?
What can keep my buddy who is, a doctor that I went to school with from calling me as opposed to our backup guard?
NARP doctor.
Yes. Yeah, very good NARP doctor, too.
Wait, does he only deal with NARPs?
Is he a doctor of NARPs or just a NARP doctor?
No, he tries to counteract the NARPism. He's trying to come up with a drug right now.
How do you NARPism?
Does the NCAA have any responsibility?
That a lot of people are dealing with. Trying to cure NARP.
You have NARPism. Imagine that commercial. Imagine that commercial on TV. You'd have a guy running like this. Look at him now.
Is this you? Call the number below. We can help.
What would you name it? Narpison.
It feels like you've workshopped this.
I'm riffing. It's good to be home.
It does feel like we've sort of opened ourselves up to now have to make that PSA.
I mean, we know who we're doing for the before part in terms of running.
Yeah.
We know who we're using as the example. Kind of obvious.
Yes, Jordan Hudson's friend Alex.
Do you or a
Stroh.
friend run like this?
Yes. Run like this. We can go to break now.
Would he have to do like the confessional thing too, where he'd be like, "They made fun of me all the time. It hurt my feelings."
But now with Narpison, I run normally.
Tune in to Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. It's presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks dives deep into Bucks and Six, a culture unknowingly created by former Buck star Brandon Jennings. Take a look inside the Brandon Jennings story, the origin of Bucks and Six, and how it became the rallying cry, and what it truly means to Jennings and Bucks fans alike. Find Behind the Bucks, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Some backups northbound 43 coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down just south of Hampton down towards Locust. We got east and westbound 94 backing up right through the stadium. The westbound side starting at 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound from just west of 70th Street all the way through to about 35th. And then southbound 41, very heavy ride from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a few afternoon clouds, a high of 69 at the lake, 80 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a few showers later on, a low of 52. Weather's brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lahazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is Jim. Jim's a contractor. Hi. Jim can't really talk or do much to grow his contracting business because Jim's buried under invoices, schedules, and service requests. Right, Jim? Right. Jim needs help. Help! Jim needs Service Titan, the all-in-one software for the trades. We've made it easier than ever for contractors to free themselves from day-to-day paperwork. Oh, wow. Switch your current solution for Service Titan, the best software in the trades, today. Learn more at servicetitan.com.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. Then you have to squeeze in between the desk and your bed, eke out 2 push-ups, and call it a day. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover their fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and do some weightlifting to prepare you to carry your team on your back all day. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Big hurt. I heard that's like, eh.
Ron and the Key Wagon saying you guys should slow down before you take on a sponsor.
Here I am.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Again, the breaking news this morning out of ESPN is that Giannis Antetokounmpo is now open-minded about exploring whether his best long-term fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere. We've been discussing it for the majority of this morning. We will get back to that in just a few moments. But before we do that, guys, I wanted to remind everybody that it is schedule release week in the NFL. Still can't believe the NFL has figured out a way to make this like a holiday. Like there are shows and shows and shows now built around.
They've already started to sprinkle the games too. We know what the opening game is going to be. It's going to be Eagles Cowboys to open up on Thursday night.
Okay. I don't know if I like that. I don't like to see conference games open up.
Why?
I just like to see NFC, AFC. They used to do it like the two conference champions.
Well, it depends upon who you're playing that next year.
Or the conference losers would play one another, right?
Well, whoever wins the Super Bowl gets that home game and opens up the season that Thursday is how they typically do it.
Okay. But that changes from year to year, right?
Who wins the Super Bowl typically?
No. I'm saying it used to be, how was it back in the day? Because the year after we won the Super Bowl,
they didn't do Thursday games like that. So when they started doing more Thursday games, I mean, it's probably been like this for 15 years at this point, where you have the Thursday opener after you win the Super Bowl. The Packers did. They played New Orleans. They did the past two Super Bowl champions when the Packers won the Super Bowl back in 2010.
I would rather see like Philly Buffalo. That would be a great opening kickoff.
I don't know if Buffalo's on their schedule. Is the problem.
I had no idea, guys. Gabe, you mentioned it, the sprinklings, the smatterings, the breadcrumbs. Today, NBC is announcing games on the Today Show.
Mm-hmm.
Fox is also announcing some games today. Prime Video is announcing some games today. ESPN announcing games tomorrow. Are the upfronts going on? This feels very upfront. Are the upfronts going on in New York this week?
I don't know.
Feels like a thing. ESPN announcing games on Good Morning America tomorrow. CBS on Wednesday on CBS Mornings. And Netflix on Wednesday as well. All leading up to the 8 p.m. Eastern official NFL schedule release. So you'll be able to put together not complete schedules, but chunks.
We'll know 2 or 3 games of what the Packers have probably before
Do we
the
know
7
how many
p.m. Central.
national games they have?
No.
What do you think? 7?
Well, I think the most primetime games you can have to start is 5. Is that? I can't remember what the limit is.
I thought it was Love's rookie year. I thought it was north of that.
Maybe I'm just thinking of like those NBC games.
Okay.
Because you obviously like Thursday night and Monday night and all those different things.
So you mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys. As far as the teams the Packers have this year, all NFC North teams, obvi. And then the Bengals, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Commanders. What division are they playing? Those are the home games. So what division are they playing this year?
The North and the East. So AFC North, NFC East. Tougher divisions this year. Tougher divisions.
Tougher schedule than last year, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, a little different than the AFC South.
Yeah.
Than what you got to play with. You do have the third place schedule, so you get to sprinkle in, the Panthers and the Cardinals as other NFC games.
Okay.
Ooh, the only bonus of finishing third in the division last year.
Sprinkle in those games, but it's gonna be a tough schedule. And because they're playing some of these really good teams, they're gonna be featured on primetime quite a bit.
Okay.
Like I would because they're playing at the Cowboys. Thanksgiving's in play. Like Packers Cowboys on Thanksgiving in that 3:25 slot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would always be a potential.
Packers have not finished under 500 at home since 2006. Do you see that being an issue at all this year?
I mean, if they finish below 500, they ain't making the playoffs at home.
They're not finishing below 500.
At home.
At home.
Oh, at home? I still say no.
Well, that was what we were saying are the home teams, Gabe.
Yeah.
That was my misunderstanding of our notes here.
But who would have thought last year they'd only win
one divisional game?
They'll do better this year.
Yeah, they've got to win 5 or 6 home games.
Yeah.
Potawatomi has the over-under for the Green Bay Packers at 9.5. I have been leaning consistently over on that, in part because Matt LaFleur-led teams seem to always be double-digit win teams, or at least most of the time. That might not be enough, but I do like the moves that they made. The biggest issues, we have spent a lot of time on them, are the pass rush, defensive line, and then whatever they end up doing at cornerback. Do you like going over 9.5, Chew, or under 9.5 for wins for Packers?
I will go. What'd they go last year? 12-5 or 11-?
11-6 was their record last year.
I'll probably go right around there, but they will win more divisional games, which means they have to lose more non-divisional games.
That's how that math
because
works.
I think they got some tough. I mean, the North is a lot better than the South, and then you got Commanders in Dallas, who are going to be tough. Yeah.
I like that. I asked if you like over or under 9.5, and you were like right around there.
No, I'm saying right around 11.
Oh, okay.
11
got it.
Right
Sorry, I thought you were saying right around 9.5, and I was
no,
sure.
No.
Could you lean one way or the other?
Yeah.
He's right around 11. Which
So
is
then
what they had
over at the 9.5.
I don't think I'd go to 10. I might go to 12. I don't know. I got to see how this schedule plays out. Because we're going to break it down like we always do in sections, and then we're going to roll from there. And then have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would take the over because I think they're a playoff team, and you need to have double-digit wins to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
But they've got to improve.
Are they? Do you have the under-overs for the other divisional teams?
I believe we do have those. Do you have the over-unders for the other teams?
Yeah, the Bears are over under 8.5 wins. And then I'll get the rest of them after that.
8.5? You take the under? I'm taking the under. I'm sick of them. They're so dumb down there for crying out. Why didn't you correct me? I said I wasn't going to gush. That was a gush.
When did you gush?
Just now?
I was thinking of taking the over.
Yeah, you take the over for the Packers.
No, the Bears.
Win. Oh, yeah. No, you got there
smack
yourself.
me. You have permission to smack me. I'm not doing it this year.
Just so you know, I didn't at any point in that conversation think you were taking the over.
I was talking to myself.
There it is. We weren't privy to that conversation.
Okay. I understand what you're saying most of the time. I don't have telepathy with you.
Yeah, I know. Lions or what?
10.5, and the Vikings are also 8.5.
Ooh, hold on.
So they're saying Pack is second best in the. That's all because of
J.J. McCarthy.
10.5, 9.5, 8.5, 8.5.
Correct.
I'm taking over Minnesota.
I'm taking under Minnesota.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why? You don't think he's that good?
I just think we saw Jordan Love, like first-year starter. There's going to be some struggles there. I think he's going to be fine.
Okay. And then what about Detroit?
I'll take the over.
10.5.
So you think they win the division again?
I do. There's no way they can be that beat up on defense again.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just no way.
Well, the only way they take a slide is the coordinators
if
aren't
Ben
very
Johnson
good.
if Ben Johnson was that important, then they will take a slide.
If Ben Johnson was that important, does that change what you're doing for the Bears? Or with the Bears, is it more of they don't have the personnel yet? Because I think they are building, right? We know that they redid their offensive line. They've given Caleb a few more weapons.
I don't know how good he is. I really don't.
Yeah, I would have a hard time betting over on the Bears until I have a more definitive answer on that question.
It's not going to be fixable in a year, I don't believe. Right? I don't know. He was not good.
No.
Was not good. I believe I called that too a You go back in the archives.
You just said you were gushing about the Bears last year, and that's why you don't want to gush this year.
I wasn't gushing about him because I remember the conversation I had with Adam, and Adam was like, "Oh, this guy's an Andrew Luck." And I'm like, I don't know about that. Check it.
I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to check it. I'm just going to trust you.
Do you have free time anymore or no?
From time to time. Depends upon the day.
We should put that on the poll. If you have the option of checking or trusting Chewy, which one are you going with?
When is it over for you? August?
What are we talking about here?
When you're not
work.
When is it over
When
for
are you like miserable? Like your training camp starts like, oh my God.
Oh, well, late July.
Okay.
That's when things start to pick up.
And yours is year round and
like I said, it depends upon the day.
Okay, fair.
Ian asking us on the Carbless Talking text line, what is more likely for the Packers, a first-place finish in the division or a last-place finish in the division?
First place.
Wow, I said that so convincingly, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either is going to happen, but I think again, right now they're the second-best team in the division. They would have to have some pretty tough injuries in order to completely free fall into
Chef Ed saying, as always, barring injuries, I have the Packers at 11 wins. If that is the case, you can go ahead and put a little money down at Potawatomi Sportsbook, where you said the odds were what? Minus 120?
For the Packers, yeah, minus 120.
For the over?
Yes.
Yeah, not a lot of value.
It's not a lot of value there, but it's not like you're taking. There's not a lot of value on the other side if it's wrong. So
speaking of not a lot of value, I did the show the other night on Wednesday with Greg Matzik, who said that when he saw Cooper flagged to be number 1 overall pick in the NBA, the odds were minus 2,500, and he was thinking about putting down $2,500
to win 100.
To win 100.
It doesn't sound like a good bet.
I mean, it's a free $100.
Right. The odds have significantly changed since then. Now I believe it's up to like 10,000.
I thought you were going in another direction when that whole sentence. I thought you were going to call Craig Massick worthless. Because how did you start talking about worthless? I was doing a show with Greg.
We were talking about not a lot of value.
The odds.
I'm just telling you how my brain works. That's all I'm doing. Don't yell at me.
I said, speaking of not a lot of value.
Yes. I'm like, yeah.
Chewy's over there going, man, I can't believe Jen's taking out a teammate right now.
Well, I said, screw, what's his name?
Evan.
Because you want to talk about a turncoat. They're talking about Giannis. He did the exact same thing to us. He left us high and dry.
He's still with the company.
Not really. Am I right?
No, he's definitely with the company.
But he bailed on us.
But he had a good job.
I don't care. You don't bail.
More time-consuming.
He handed off the job. The job of what he used to do for us is now belongs to somebody else.
So you're basically telling me if Giannis leaves, you're okay with it.
But Giannis is like, if Giannis leaves to become, the general manager.
He's using Evan Cohen as the barometer for your Giannis take.
Yes.
You're okay with Evan leaving. Are you okay with Giannis leaving?
But Evan didn't leave. He just has a different role within the company.
No. All right. No. He used to do our little meetings there, and he bolted.
Yeah.
Did he bolt? Do you still talk to him?
Yeah.
Why?
Not regularly, but we still chit-chat. That is very Love Fern logic, though, by the way. Did you ever see How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? When she's like, our Love Fern, you let it die. Are you going to let us die? It's kind of how the Evan Cohen to Giannis thing was working. We have to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We are so far off the rails, it's not even funny. We'll be right back after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Insight from the best without ever giving it a rest.
15 yards away from the high jump while I talked to 7.5. Pretty amazing.
I had like 9 people yelled at me at the draft because Homer's an idiot.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
Yeah! The delivery of that information was magnificent, John.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's
Go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's two things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
Firearms.
Viagra.
On 94.5 ESPN.
For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. And what it found was really interesting, guys. While 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are in therapy. When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them. It impacts families, workplaces, and entire communities. Guys, I spent the weekend watching that piece on E60 on Katie Meyer, the goalie from Stanford, who took her own life a few years ago. It was so eye-opening, yet again, to be confronted with a family who is dealing with the ultimate loss. And the point of this is, we don't want that to happen anymore. We don't want anybody to get to the point where they feel like they have no other options. BetterHelp is an option. With more than 35,000 therapists, they're the world's largest online therapy platform. They've served more than 5 million people globally, and it is convenient. You can join a session with the click of a button. You can do it on your time, in your home, with all the privacy that provides, and you can switch therapists at any time. So here it is, guys. Visit betterhelp.com/timeout, and you'll get 10% off your first month. We are all better with help. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. Are we going to talk about it?
What?
You belching into the microphone as
you can hear
Jen's
it?
trying to give.
That ain't on me.
As Jen's trying to give a heartfelt read.
And then I see you laugh.
I turned away.
I saw everybody laughing.
Once I saw Gabe laugh, I couldn't hold it back.
Well, it's Gabe's fault, really.
How is this my fault?
Because you said I would have problem with the button today.
Well, I said that, but yeah. Gabe?
What?
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Well, then you deserve it. I can't believe you could. I didn't open my mouth or anything.
It was such a burp.
It's like right.
The listeners
Just
didn't
right
hear it.
into
They
the microphone.
didn't hear it.
Right into the microphone.
Did they, Will?
I mean, I heard it, so I assume it was impressive, though. It was like a closed mouth burp, but it still made a sound somehow. I got to give it to you.
I drank it too fast. You guys.
Hey, Gabe looks
gotta
at
hand
me,
it to him.
and I'm reading my sheet. I'm reading it, but I see Gabe look at me, and I was like, do
My eyes
not
just got wide. Just
break, read.
when she decided to stay focused and just power through, I'm like, I gotta look away. Otherwise, she's gonna break.
It's a side effect of Narpison.
It is. I didn't read the label. May belch uncontrollably.
Oh, my goodness. Wildy and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Chewy's back, everybody. Chewy's back.
Wrapping things up with a couple of accidents. One on eastbound 94 right about at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder, and then another one on Highway 175 southbound